There's a new concept tied to the coronavirus vaccine, and it is in the works. It is called a COVID passport, which would show who's been immunized and who hasn't. The idea is to allow people to travel easier with fewer restrictions and to be able to finally attend concerts, sporting events without having to get tested. People who get the 2 required doses of the vaccine would get a card that they would carry around with them, or it could be stored in a phone app. Interesting. The people who don't want to get the vaccine or can't for any health reasons, as we just specified, could still travel and go to events, but they'd have to show proof of their negative COVID test. Fair or not fair, Al?
I think it's fair because it applies. I think that we really can get bogged down in like one issue, Sam, where we're just like, I don't know if this thing is fair. But if you think about what a passport is, it's just an admission for you into anywhere. When you go to CVS and you see the sign that says for employees only, you don't go, that's unconstitutional. There are only certain amounts of people that can go in there that have certain clearance, just like with the government, just like with parking spaces and stoplights. Everything is meant to maintain order because there are millions of us, and without parking spaces and stoplights and places that people can't go and don't bring your kid, a kid can't be here unless they're with their parent. We have these rules to maintain the safety of everybody. So whether you're going to another country or you're going to a Kenny Chesney concert, we're trying to maintain the safety of the most people that we can.
I just got a really interesting comment from Jane Orr on Facebook asking you, Al, directly. This just came in regard to pro-choice versus pro-life. And if you are pro-choice because you don't want the government, and I'll just summarize it because it's long. If you're pro-choice because you don't want the government deciding what to do with your body, how can you be pro-mandate vaccine?
Well, first of all, there's a couple.
That's a great point.
It's a great point, but it's a great question. Let's unpack that a little bit. When you start talking about being pro-choice, pro-life, if somebody has a child that they do not want to care for and give it up for adoption, which is a noble thing to do. My sister's adopted. I'm all for that. But now you are asking the state, and who's the state? It's us, to help raise that child. So we do have a say in what goes on with that. When you start talking about whether you're allowed to go certain places and you might be sick, there have to be restrictions in place, because if there's a breakout, the state, Jeff, Sam, myself, Erica, are now going to have to pay for that. When Trump went to the hospital, we had to pay for that. When Giuliani's in the hospital now, we are all paying for that.
I just want to say, Al, quick to back up your point. Yes, I know, final point. If you go to another country, Al, you have to get immunized with whatever it is that their country abides by, right? You don't sit at the border and say, this is unconstitutional, let me in. They say, get the hell out of here. That's what they say. So enjoy living in America and enjoy your freedoms. You always want to challenge every little thing that goes on. People can't stand living in America during this COVID thing, right? Well, now we found the cure for it. We have the answer for it, and people still want to complain about it. It's never going to end. Your world's never going to get better if you complain about everything in it.
Lots of passion here today.
I like it.
I know, I like it too.